Let go and level up. Yes. Breaking free from old patterns. Yes, happy Monday to all of you. It is a Monday, March 10th, 2025, my friends. We're here halfway, marching forward theme, and I'm very excited to be here with you today. Miss Charmaine is not here. We're going to miss her. I don't even think I had the date in there. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. What is the weather in your neck of the woods? Here in Orlando, Florida, it is nasty, rainy, cloudy. Can you believe it? And today we have a guest. I just saw her in the green room. Hey, I want our guest to tell us what's the weather in her neck of the woods. Ladies and gentlemen, I should have asked for an intro song for Jori, because we're gonna talk about old patterns, but it's not gonna be me. It's gonna be Miss Jori O'Neale in the house. Let's see. I gotta find me a good song. Let's see. Hold on. All right, here we go. I think I like this one. Because this fits Jori right here. This is how my family knows her. Here we go. Hey, what do we have in here? Jori in the house.
What's going on? Buenos días, ¿cómo están ustedes? Estoy bien y tú, gracias.
Exacto. You know, my dad constantly asks about you. And it's funny, like every Christmas, every Thanksgiving. ¿Dónde está tu amiga la que baila? La que baila. That's
Where's your
you.
dancing friend? Where's she at?
Yeah. No, he really appreciates you. But anyway, my friend, what's the weather in your neck of the woods this morning?
Well, it's so cold and chilly that I'm drinking tea and coffee because that's how we living over here. I'm trying to get all the warm liquids on the inside so I don't have to raise my heat on the outside. Hello.
What is it, like 20s, 30s? I have
No,
no idea.
I mean, it's probably comparable, honestly, to Florida right now. We're in mid 50s, like 55.
Okay.
Not so bad. I mean, this is normal for March.
I mean, it's cold. 55 here would be like I'm wearing a jacket. Yeah. For sure. Hold on a second. I want to see your hat because I just put a hat out. Let me see. What does it say? Kingdom. Aha. Love it. Okay, I had to make that bigger so I could actually see it. I'm going solo, so on the slides, I don't even know how this is gonna work out, but I'm gonna do my very best. Let's see. Okay, boom. We talked about the weather. Yay. Okay, I'm doing it and I'm loving it. So we usually start with a dad joke, and let's go back here because I don't even think I had it up, but here it goes. Jori, every time I take my dog to the park, the ducks try to bite her. That's what I get for buying a purebred dog. Oh. Okay, let me see the roll up of the eyes. Let's see. Hold on a second. I need to make it bigger. So what you think about that joke, ma'am?
You landed it already? You did the punchline?
That's what I get for getting a purebred dog. Yeah, that's what I said. Breed. Breed, not bread. Breed. Shoot. The Espanol gets all tangling there. I want to hear a joke from you. Why don't you bring us a joke?
I don't do dad jokes because I'm a mom.
Okay, do a mom joke.
You see how that worked?
You know, okay, so I had a video, but I don't know how to do it by myself. I mean, it's here. I could potentially go in here. Are you ready? Let's see. Let me see if I could play it. Let's go there. Okay, so this is it. Okay, let's see. Hold on, Jory. We're gonna try to play this one. No, you know what? I'm not gonna try it. Let's skip it or do. But do you have if you don't have a joke, we can move on. That's all good.
Um, I don't have a dad joke. I
I know
have
I
a
didn't
mom
even
joke.
prepare you for a dad joke. I just threw you in the spot.
No, that's fine. But usually my comedy routines are about like 10 to 12 minutes. I don't know how long the people desire to listen to me because there's like a whole format, and you got to start it, and then you have to do like a callback 3 times, and then you have to stick the landing, and it's just a lot. Um, I haven't finished either of my hot beverages yet. Um,
I hear you. I hear you. Okay. All good. All good. Okay. I have another one. Why
okay,
did the coach go to the bank?
no idea.
To get his quarterback.
Okay,
Ooh.
okay,
Yeah. Yeah. See
okay.
how corny they are? I mean, that's the beauty of it because you're right. You're a mom, so you're not gonna say a dad joke. Well, I'm not a mom, right? So what is it?
You got free reign.
Like,
You can say,
what do you call it?
listen. You what is it called? Carte LeBlanc. You could say any joke you want to. You got free
Um,
reign, baby. You
yeah. I'm just gonna say any jokes. Anyway, I love when people I do have some videos on the day of the pup. I'm actually let's go there because Claudia, as you know, she shared this video. So okay, let's play because I do a day in the life of a pup because obviously we love puppies here. And let me see if you can see it. Can you see it?
sí, claro que sí.
No? Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. We're gonna do
Sí,
it.
claro que sí.
Okay. That's still. Thank you, Claudia, for submitting. And what is that's right there? Hey. Hey. Okay. So what it says is that he just actually it has it in English. He just accepted his destiny as a dancer. Jory, do your kids want a dog?
Yeah, they went to a friend's house yesterday, and they have 2 dogs, a cat, and a ferret.
Wait,
And
two dogs, a cat, and a who?
a ferret, a ferret. So I was trying to explain to my youngest what a ferret was.
Please explain it to an old person here too.
Okay, so this is an American privilege thing because like cats and dogs is like normal pets, right?
Yes,
And
agree.
then ferrets is like, say you had a rat, and
Ew.
you decide to let it breed with a weasel,
Oh my god.
and and so you have a long rat
Ooh.
with the face of like a possum. It's
Oh my gosh.
yeah, it's ugly. Um My daughter was in heaven. She came, she showed videos, she took my husband's phone and was. I didn't go. I have allergies to pet dander, which is why we don't have any animals in our house.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But my kids don't. So
Mm-hmm.
my daughter went and she was in hair heaven. Just came back with all the furry shetty all over her with the cats and the dogs and the ferret, and she was showing me this video of the ferret, and she was so excited.
Oh my
Mommy,
god.
look at this ferret. And I got one glimpse of it, and I just had flashbacks to living in Queens, and
Yes.
just getting in the subway, the
Yeah.
two
Oh,
fare zone
yes.
subways,
Yes.
and just like waiting on a platform next to a rat. Like that's
Yes.
what it brought me back to. It brought me back to waiting on a
See,
platform next to Pizza Rat. Um,
that is a funny video.
I didn't
That
I
rat.
didn't like I didn't like the feeling I got when I looked at the ferret, and so I said, please take it away. Um, And she's like, "Can I have a ferret?" I said, "Absolutely, baby." She was like, "Really?" I said, "Yes, you can have whatever you want to in your house."
In your house, not my house. I was gonna ask you to show me a picture when you first mentioned the name, but the
Nah,
second you said
nah,
rat,
yeah,
no, thank you. I
yeah.
a rat chased me when I was a little girl in Peru.
Ooh.
Nobody believed me that it chased me up the stairs. They're like, rats don't chase. I'm like, this one did. This one chased me up the stairs, and I was horrified. And then when my dad got home, I didn't know, but he's also afraid of rats. So we all went outside and gave him a broom, and we're like, go get it. And I don't think he actually did. I don't know who did. It could have been a neighbor. My dad could have had asked the neighbor to come inside the house and get the rat out. But they caught it behind the stove. So it's I have definitely a lot of fear. I don't know how I did it in Queens when I used to work in Manhattan. I will take the A train. Yeah, I will take the A train because I used to live on Jamaica and 77th. It was like considered Woodhaven, I guess, at that point because it was like near Woodhaven and Jamaica. And I'll take the J to the A, and yes, I will be standing just like you. And I would just try to look straight into the wall or listen to music so I could like avoid it. But yeah, it's pretty gross for all those who are not from New York. And those who are from New York, you know about the rat,
Yeah.
pizza rat. I mean,
Yeah,
was it
but
one
it's
or
favorite.
two bringing the slides? It was just one, right?
I don't enjoy watching. You know, the crazy thing is that when I was little, I used to chase my cousin around with dead rats.
No,
Yeah,
very gross. How did you grab it? Like with a glove?
I
Tell me with a
no.
glove.
So I would so I do have a funny story. So my cousins used to always try to steal my food. Like whenever I had food, they would always try to steal it from me. There's 25 grandchildren, so there's a lot of us.
Oh wow.
And
Yeah.
I'm like on the lower end of the totem pole. Like I'm not in the middle, but I'm like the oldest of like the lower half of the rest of them.
Yes.
So the older ones, they bullies, all of them bullies.
Mm.
And so they would always just try to take my food. And so one day, my cousin and I, we were riding bikes and we saw a dead rat. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna trick my cousin because she always used to try to take my food. And so I put the dead rat inside of an old recycled container
Oh
from
my
this local restaurant called Harold's Chicken. Anybody from Chicago, y'all ever heard of Harold's Chicken? Y'all know Harold's, like, it don't matter how old that bag is, that sauce is still gonna smell like it was just poured the day
oh
of.
wow.
Like it's some delicious sauce. So I put the dead rat in the bag and then
Oh Lord.
I folded it up like it was a stick. I ain't using my hand, I ain't nasty. So I used
Okay,
a stick,
okay.
I stuck it in there and then I rolled up the edges like they would at the restaurant.
No,
And so I'm carrying this bag. Now the sauce is all on the outside. It's very clear marketing. You know it's a Harold's bag. You know this is a chicken bag. And I'm carrying it. And my cousin's like, give me some. I said, no, it's mine. And she's like, give me before I hit you. And I was like, you hit me, I'm gonna tell on you. Like, I am
Uh-huh.
really into character. Like I'm
Yeah.
committed to this.
Uh-huh.
And she snatches it from me and said, why you gotta be like that? All I asked for was for a piece. And she opens it up and she starts screaming and she drops the bag. And I scoop the bag
Oh.
up and I'm hightailing behind this chick. I am chasing her down the block. We go up an alley. Like I'm
Oh.
like, you want it? I'm gonna give it to you.
Did she get back at you for this, or did she apologize forever and ever?
I think this was probably like the start of me learning like where my comedic chops were. Like you can't, like, don't be evil like funny. You could be funny, but don't be like evil funny. I think I was
Gotcha.
trying to figure out like the balance between like being evil,
Okay.
humorous, and just being regular funny.
Yes.
But nah, I chased a couple blocks. She said, "Oh, I have to pee. Stop chasing me. I gotta pee."
Hold the chase.
And no mercy, no mercy. All I'm gonna say is that she went back home wet. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh my goodness. Who knew that we were gonna be talking about rats this Monday morning?
I,
Like
but
my
the
biggest
possum,
fear.
you asked about it, right? Dogs. Do we have dogs? Do we like dogs? My children love animals. We go to family friends' houses, and they got
Yeah.
dogs and cats and birds and possums and ferrets and all sorts of stuff. And my kids love it, and they play with them. And I'm like, yay, okay, wash your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go home. And when you get home, I need you to strip, put your clothes in the bag. Like, I don't want no cat dander. And then we're just gonna take that bag and we're gonna dump it straight into the washing machine. We're gonna put some soap, whole bunch of soap. We're gonna close it and we're gonna right. Like I don't desire to get an asthma attack because you want to go play with a dog. It's not something I
Gotcha.
want to do, you know?
God, it is absolutely, yeah. If you have an allergy, I could totally understand. I was afraid of dogs most of my life. Like our dog that we had in Flushing, and then the dog that we had in Miami was really Claudia's dog. Like she was, to me, she was the dog person, right? Like she trained Junior. Junior will listen to her. That was her dog. And then I will always be afraid of dogs until Jimmy's Nala, who came into my life, she broke me a little bit, right? But I was still very fearful until, of course, Poppy, my dearest soulmate. And so now I understand pets better. I will think that all dogs wanted to attack you. I don't know why. Maybe it could have been the rat chase that got me thinking animals are bad. They're gonna come and get you. But then, like the tails, like getting to see just how pure dogs are,
Mm,
and forgiving and unconditionally like love you no matter what. And this
mm.
dog is like my Velcro. Like she's right here. She follows me everywhere. And like those little desires you have, like, to have like a bestie right next to you all the time. So my dream come true. Poppy.
All right. Well,
So
more power to you.
yeah. No allergies, and I'm very grateful for that. So I know you say you're drinking and um tea and what do you call it, as
Coffee.
well as your coffee. But how do you take your coffee? I'm interested.
Um, in a mug.
Okay, it's gonna be jokes all day. I love it. Okay, so what do you put on? What kind of coffee?
So I just actually found this local coffee shop. Shout out to No Rush Cafe in Freeport, New York. Shout out to you guys.
Hey,
I just started drinking dirty chai.
okay. Dirty. Why is it called dirty?
I was wondering the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's just because it has a shot of espresso.
Okay.
So it's
Nice.
chai latte with a shot of espresso, and I have it with coconut milk, no sweetener. Just
Okay. Are you also not dairy friendly?
no, I like dairy. Dairy just doesn't like me.
Facts. Man, do I miss pizza. No, I do take pizza, like the mozzarella, the margarita, the mozzarella with basil, I can do, but any other pizza, running to the bathroom and
You know this. It was
inflammation.
weird because I had lactose intolerant when I was living in Fresh Meadows. I had lactose
Mm,
intolerance. I didn't
mhm.
realize it until like
Yes.
I don't know. I was going through something and I like downed a whole like pint of Haagen Dazs in one
Mm,
sitting.
yummy.
And then I was like, my stomach hurts. It
Yes.
hurts so bad. I was just like,
Yes.
what is this feeling? Ah!
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Camila Kojaka, you remember Camilla? She
Of
told me
course.
yeah,
Yes.
she's like, oh, you're lactose intolerant. I say, no,
Don't
no,
label me.
don't put me in the box. Don't put me in the box, especially not if the box can't have ice cream in it. No, don't put me in the box.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what's your favorite non-dairy ice cream? Because here in Orlando, there's a lot.
Oh, I'm gonna tell
There
you
are
a secret.
lots.
I'm gonna tell you a secret. I stopped eating gluten for like 5 months.
Okay.
I'm no longer lactose intolerant.
Oh, look at that. Yay. Ice cream and pizza back in your life.
Yes, ma'am. Without all the pain in the bathroom breaks.
Yeah, definitely, indeed. But for me, it was more like inflammation, and it's still, well, when I'm enjoying it, who knows? It could be that the margarita pizza also bloats me up, but I'm definitely enjoying it. I'm like, yum, 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 yum. But when I have regular pizza, that I actually don't enjoy. So anyway,
Is it New
the
York pizza? Because New York pizza, I don't enjoy either.
no, well, it did start. Well, see, Staten Island pizza is different than Queens pizza, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. Staten Island pizza is so good, and that's where the margarita slide came in. Do you remember Victoria?
Of course.
Okay. So she used to like we will have like this tradition because she was my roommate about pizza and beer. Like she introduced me, her, Shauna. I was like, pizza and
Oh,
beer. No, I'm not
Shauna.
supposed to have beer.
Aw.
You know? Like a nerd. And so the first time, and she would put like the hot pepper on it. And
Mm.
so it got me, she will do like different toppings. So I was like, huh. I always like back in Queens, the pizza place in front of Queens College that everybody will go to after
Gino's.
Sunday. The only topping that was different for me was like the one with chicken, but that's all I had. But here in Staten Island, I started trying out different toppings and different kind of slices. And that's when and at that time I was in high pure denial. I was in denial that I needed glasses. Victoria actually pointed out that to me. She's like, I believe you need glasses. I believe you are wrong. That would be my answer. And I definitely need it. Because when I put on glasses when I was driving the first time, I was like, this is what it's supposed to be like at nighttime. Oh my goodness. I just thought cars were like driving so fast they were blurry. Anyway, but she introduced me. So Staten Island pizza, like, and because there's so many, like, I know it's like negative, but for Jimmy is okay. So I'm gonna say it. So all the Guidos love their pizza, right? So there's like a lot of pride in pizza, and Jimmy loves pizza. So anyway, that's how this mozzarella came all about. Because when I don't know if you know, but like when I went like paleo primal all the way back before it was popular, like in 2011, and we cut off all like gluten, dairy, everything, like psychopath. I did notice that my skin change. I no longer will break out in like with pimples, like adult acne, and it was like beautiful, right? And so I cut off pizza for years, and then in Staten Island 2020 came, as you know, and all that diet, all the all this carefulness about diet went out the window.
As
So
it
I definitely
should. The
had a
world
lot.
is ending. The
Yeah.
world is ending. Go get a slice of
Hey,
pizza.
who cares? Just eat on the ice cream. No, the ice cream definitely is definitely not good for me. Any kind of ice cream right now. Just my dairy free ones that I have at the store. There's like it's like cacao ice cream that Jimmy likes to run to whenever I get my monthly visitor because he's the best husband in the world. Or he just doesn't want to hear me whine. He goes, "Here you go, honey." He's a smart man. He's very smart. So anyway, all that to say, Staten Island pizza is very delicious. Now we move here, fast forward Orlando, we have what is called NYPD pizza, and the owners are from New York, and it's really good. Like our neighbor, it's also from New York. Every time I come to Florida, I make friends who are not from Florida, like we're all New Yorkers, and we're all like, "Why are we here?" We're all complaining, and they're like, "That's how we bond." Anyway, so
Question,
anyway,
Miss.
I
Question, Miss.
yeah, please.
What can you explain to me what the acronym NYPD means?
NYPD, New York NYPD Police Department.
So you have a pizza place in Florida called New York Police Department Pizza?
Yes. With the logo, with the New York. I don't know how they got away with it. Like their logo.
I don't know. You might have just got that place shut down. Let's keep it moving. Let's
Sorry,
that sound
guys.
all sorts of illegal.
They got two places here. I'm in Metro West, and the other one right in Winter Gardens, where I used to work. So I had it at work. I had it at home. It was like my go-to place. But shall we get started on our
Let's do it.
theme on what we're talking about? On
Let's
breaking
do it.
free from old patterns, my friend.
Yes, let's do it.
Are we ready to cook? Anyway, so I'm gonna give you the floor, ma'am. Letting go old patterns. Talk to us, Miss Jori O'Neale.
Old
Wait, hold
patterns.
on. What was
Oh,
your maiden last name? Hold on.
no one knows.
Jori. Why
No
am
one.
I wait, Jori? What are you
No
supposed
one knows. No one knows, Patty Zito. No one knows.
Okay, do you remember mine?
King Day. Yes, it's still saved in my phone. I never changed it.
Jimmy calls me that all the time. Listen, Kinde, whenever he's upset. Because I can't be a Zito if I'm talking nonsense. So he likes to Kinde me. Anyway, all right, Miss Jori O'Neale, the floor is yours.
So, changing old habits and patterns. And so, okay, today is my spiritual birthday. Today, 23
Hey.
years ago today, I was baptized into Christ. I'm super excited about celebrating 23 years committed to Jesus. But here's the truth, right? Like,
Yes. Tell us.
although I've been in Christ 23 years, I don't think Jesus was Lord the way he should have been all 23 years. And I don't know if you can relate to that.
Of
Like
course.
there were years where I was in the driver's seat. There were years where money was in the driver's seat. There was years where boys were in the driver's seat. There were
Okay.
years where he was not Lord. And so when I'm thinking and reflecting back on how did I get to the space where I am now, where I feel convinced and clear that Jesus is Lord, right, of all aspects and areas of my life. Um, I think it's maybe like 4 years ago. So shortly after the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
2001, I called myself, I don't know, going into my youth bag. I'm late 30s. I ain't 40 yet, so I'm still
No?
feeling some type of way. No, now I am. Now we're
Okay,
past
okay.
that. But
Gotcha.
at this time, while I was going crazy, having a pre-midlife crisis,
Yeah.
I was like, I could do all things through me that gives me strength, right? Like that was the thing that I was on. And so I remember I was teaching phys ed,
Okay.
no longer phys ed teacher. So we'll
Yes.
get into that a little later. That's part of the pattern shifting and the habit
Okay.
changing. So I'm at phys ed and the kids calling me out, Miss, I could beat you in basketball. And you know how I feel about competition in basketball, Patty. I can't say no. It's like a drug. It's like it doesn't matter if I got one leg and one eyeball, I'm still gonna jump on this court
Oh wow, that's commitment.
and play
Yes.
basketball. So I'm out of shape, overweight, all sorts of bad habits. I'm not reading my Bible, not praying, not watching what I eat, not watching what I drink, not like sleeping well. Like there are no good habits happening
Mm-hmm.
except I go to work every day. That's the only good habit in terms of finances because at the time, finances are Lord. And so I go to do this move on a kid and I see out the periphery this really large child, like this super senior. You know what a super senior is. Don't choke. Super
Keep
senior.
going.
Super senior is a kid who like you should have graduated maybe like 2 years ago and you still here. You were still in the school. So this super senior, my man had to be about, I'm not kidding you, maybe like close to 300 pounds. But he loved him some basketball. And I can't be mad at you because I too love me some basketball. So here we are. I'm going one direction, the little boy's going the other direction. And now I don't know if you know science, but inertia, if two objects of equal force collide, we
Mm-hmm.
okay because we gonna, they're gonna bounce off each other and right.
Yep.
But that third law of Newton, where object in motion stays in motion, this boy was running after a loose ball this way. I'm going this way. I look at the corner of my eye. I'm like, this kid can't stop. Even if he wanted to, even if he tried to, he can't stop.
Wow, commitment.
Yeah, so I jump over the ball, the loose ball he's going for. I don't know if he's like looking at anything except this ball. Like his eyes are fixed on the prize the way mine should be fixed on Jesus. There's not like he's fixed and he goes for the ball, but now he realizes like, oh snap, there's a black hole, a black woman like there next to the ball, and I'm not stopping, and she don't seem to be stopping. Because again, I'm out of shape, so we can't make no hard stops. It's not happening. The knees ain't allowing us, and so he collides into me, falls on top of me, legs out of commission. I can't walk.
Oh wow.
The kids help me up. I hobble back to my office. My coworker brings me ice and all sorts of things. Now, if I tell you this was March 10th, 2020.
Wait, it literally was
Yes,
March 10th?
March
That's
10th,
fun.
Tuesday, March 10th, 2020.
Wow.
Do you know what happened March 16th, 2020?
5 days or 6 days after this collision.
Yes, the
No.
whole world shut down. Schools in New York shut down.
Mhm.
Businesses shut down. They
Yep.
called, emergency
Yep.
shelter in.
Yep.
Uh, so I twist my ankle a week before basically the whole world shut down.
Yep.
Now, hindsight, people are like, "Dad, like you couldn't walk. What? Like it's COVID. Like, dad, that must have been hard." No, it wasn't hard. And I'm gonna tell you why. I
Tell us.
went to work on that Tuesday.
The
I went
next day?
No. There was a Tuesday. When I went to work, I didn't know the world was about to shut down.
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying.
So I got home. Well, I went to the hospital.
Mhm.
And when I got to the hospital, it gave me a clue that the world's about to shut down. Because there was a man at the door with a mask on. I ain't never been to the hospital and
Really?
he had a mask on. He says, "Why are you here? Do you have fever? Are you coughing?" I just
And all the
hobbled out of
questions.
my car. Like, I can't walk, sir. Like,
Yeah.
no, I'm
Yeah.
fine. My respiratory is fine. I can't walk.
Respiratory is fine.
And he's like, I have to take your temperature. I'm like, sir, like I have 4 kids. I've had 3 miscarriages. I've
Oh
had the
wow.
flu. I've had surgeries. I've never gone to the hospital and somebody stopped me outside of the hospital,
Oh wow.
taking my temperature with a mask on, asking me mad questions. I was like, something's happening in the universe. I don't like it. I
Wow.
don't know what this is.
The day before. Wow.
I get in the hospital. Finally, he lets me in because he thinks I'm low threat or no threat. I'm getting in
Mhm.
there and I'm seeing everybody coughing and with masks on. And I say, what is that? What in the world? And they don't let the people sit next to each other. We're like sitting like, and I was like, what?
Right.
This is Tuesday, March 10th. No one's made any announcements about COVID yet, at least
Mhm.
not to the general public.
Right.
So I get my leg put in the air cast. I get my crutches. I get some prescriptions for the pain. I drive home, rest up, whatever. I'm like, my principal's like, you got to fill out this paperwork, line of duty injury. So I
Yeah.
fill out the paperwork and she's like, send it back. So I'm like, all right. She's like, you got to go to the doctor, get a doctor's note. So I make an appointment for Monday. Don't go to the appointment on Monday.
Nope.
School's closed. Ain't nobody there to receive my paperwork. The doctor's like, don't come here. If you don't have to come here, don't come here.
Mhm.
I'm like, my leg, I can't. They're like, it'll heal at home. Just stay there. It's safer at home than it is here. And I was like, thank you, God.
Mm.
Thank
Yeah.
you, God. Because what you don't know is that 4 people at my job that same week all had COVID and were hospitalized.
Mm. Oh wow. While it
And
happened, while it was the scariest too.
one guy was in my gym that day. He had just come back from a concert in Ohio.
Ah, interesting.
And we missed each other because I
Mm.
messed up my leg and went home early.
Mhm. Nice.
So I'm sharing this story because my poor choices, my lack of habits, my lack of just taking care of me led me to be injured. Because if I was lower weight, less amped up to go beat children on a basketball court, like if I had established habits, boundaries, and routines, like none of that would have happened. But if none of that would have happened, then it's possible that I would have had COVID, right? So why am I sharing all this? We talk about new habits and new patterns. When I feel like when God gives you an out and an ounce of grace, like grace that you don't deserve,
Okay.
that's the time to sit and reflect on, okay, what habits got me here? And now what habits are going to take me to where I actually desire to be? So I looked at what habits had got me to the space where finances were my God. And I said, okay, scarcity mindset definitely got
Mhm.
me there. Overindulging and overspending definitely got me there, right? So a lack of financial restraint on what I'm spending. We bought a house 2019 in September.
Hmm.
You would think I would be the most frugal human in the universe, and I wasn't. I was like, we got a house. I have to fill it with brand new everything, right? Like,
Mhm.
I don't know if you've ever been there where you're like, I got this space and I want to fill it up with all these pretty nice things that are more.
No, I never been to your house.
But just the idea that I have
Yeah,
this
yeah,
new
yeah.
space and I want to fill it with really nice
Of
new
course.
things,
Mhm.
right? And so taking out the credit card, this credit card, that credit card,
Mm.
swiping. I felt like Dora the Explorer, like swiper, no swiping, swiper, no swiping. Like it's like I'm just like doing the most with the least, literally the least.
Doing the most with the least. Never heard of that.
Well, now you can use that. That's fine.
Yeah, I like it.
But this is what leads to debt, right? This is what leads to overspending. This is what, right? So those poor habits, they started compounding and building up because it's not just the poor habits with like the eating. It's the poor habits with spending. It's the poor habits with time allocation. It's the poor habits start to trickle and go all over the place. So fast forward, it's now April 2020, and I say, all right,
Mhm.
I have to change. I have to shift. And so that's when kind of like the shifting and trying to figure out, okay, well, how do we get here? We got here because we were overspending. We got here because we were overeating. So what does it look like to eat in moderation? What does it look like to exercise? Because now I have a weak limb. My leg
Mm.
is poor, right? It's
Yeah,
not well. And
yeah.
they're like, oh, you have to teach gym virtually on the line. I say, teach gym online? How am I going to do
Wow.
that? And I couldn't ask students like, "Oh yeah, do push-ups, do sit-ups, do curl-ups." I'm not doing it.
Mm,
So
mhm.
now I'm like, okay, I don't want to be in the habit of asking people to do something I'm not willing to do.
Yes.
But I
Totally
work,
with that.
so I wake up early. I spend time with God, and I work out before I start school, and then I work out with each class that I teach, and I'm teaching like 4 or 5 classes a day.
Mm.
So I'm working out like a beast, like 4 or 5 times a day, sit ups, bump burpees, like all the things. We got it. We bought a treadmill. I'm running on a treadmill. I hate running, but I'm like, I got to
Mm.
do what I got to do to strengthen my body. And
Mhm.
so those slow habits of, okay, exercise, eating right, then it goes into spending. Now I'm food prepping, I'm meal prepping. We're not buying out, right? Like, and
Yeah,
so I think one of the first steps in figuring out, okay, which habits are going to serve you is doing a little inventory. What have I been doing so far? And
yeah,
do I like where it's gotten me?
yeah.
If I don't like where it's gotten me, then I got to do something different. And so
Mhm.
then looking at all those different quadrants, your social life, your personal, your financial, your spiritual, your relational, looking at all those spaces and saying, okay, am I happy with where I am right now? No. Okay, well, I'm not going to overwhelm myself with like 75 different new habits I need to start. I'm going to pick one.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so the first one I picked was my health. I'm like, my leg is weak.
Mhm.
My weight is high. Something got to give. Like, so in the process of shortening and smalling and shrinking my
Yeah,
girth, I was like, let me also strengthen my leg. So, but
yeah,
that was the one choice. But that one choice was like, okay, if we can stick to this habit of working out consistently, of eating well, what else can we do? Okay, now we've got the financial habit. Okay, cool. During COVID, we paid off a whole car in a year and a half.
nice.
A 5 year right thing turned into a year and a half.
Mhm.
Why? Because that one habit, that one choice of food, of exercise, then turned into finances.
It was your
Ron and I,
first domino.
yeah, and then Ron and I start having consistent date nights. So now relational, boom, and we still have consistent date nights every Thursday. Don't call me, don't talk to me because it's my date night. Even if it's looking at our budget and eating popcorn on the floor, like that's our
Mhm.
date night every Thursday, right? And so each of these areas, I'm like, okay, one area, I'm gonna tackle that. Now we that becomes a habit. I'm gonna go to the second one. And one of the books that honestly transformed like everything was Your Best Year Yet.
Hmm.
You know the book?
Who wrote that book?
Michael Hyatt.
Okay. Wow, a thunderstorm just came in when you the second you said the book. Nice.
Well,
power may go out.
That's a powerful book. That's why the enemy don't want you to know about that.
Mm.
That book transformed everything
Really?
because
Okay.
he goes through specifically like, how do you have your best year ever? How do you?
Mhm.
And you start by looking at, okay, if it was December 31st and you wrote a letter to yourself, what would you be congratulating yourself for being able to achieve or do or
Nice.
accomplish, right? And in the self-development world, like everybody, they start off with this, like, oh, write a letter to yourself about it's, December 31st and blah, blah, blah. But then the rest of his book is breaking down how do you do that?
The
How do you
practical steps.
the practicals? And so for me, I need practicals. You can be
Yeah.
as charismatic as you desire to be. Whoa! You can do all of that stuff.
Tony Robbins.
Hey, give me hype. You would get me real hype. I'm hype. I'm hype. But if you don't break it down into baby steps for me to
Mhm.
be able to walk at my own pace,
Yeah.
not at your pace, not like,
Yeah.
well, when I was coming up, I grabbed my bootstraps and I figured it out and I ran and I sacrificed and I hustled it. No, sir. Sorry. Nope. 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 I reject all of that. No, I got 4 kids. I need to go slow.
Yep.
It needs
Your
to be
pace.
intentional.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, all right, how do I do this intentionally? And Michael Hyatt's book, I would recommend it. And I read it every year.
Do you have it in front of you or near you?
I loaned it to a friend who was having a tough time figuring out their life. Because that's what
Gotcha.
I do. I loan them out but I read it before the year starts.
Okay.
Right. So
Very cool.
December going into January, I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? What I need to set up? Recently I joined a mastermind. So I have
Yeah, you mentioned.
built-in accountability. I have
Yes.
folks who are, 3 steps ahead of me, folks who are 30 steps ahead of me, and then folks who are 3 steps behind me. And so collectively, we're like, all right, we're all like encouraging each other to take the next best step. What is that next one best step?
Yeah.
And then starting your week just in gratitude, starting your week in intentionality, starting your week, making sure that the things that you said you want to do and hit by the end of the month, that
Mhm.
you're, reverse engineering. How do you do that through the week? So
Mhm.
I think my previous habits were to go according to my feeling.
Mhm.
If I
Mhm.
feel energetic, maybe I'll exercise. If I feel motivated, maybe I'll do it. But
Yeah.
the habits that I've instilled and started building over time, they're almost like this engine
Engine number 9. Okay, let me stop.
going down the transit line. If that train pulls off the track, pick it up, right? Like, right. So
Yes.
I, I'm like, okay, even if I don't feel like it, even if I
Mhm.
don't feel motivated, even if no one is calling me to task, no one's holding me accountable,
Yeah.
because I've built this system, I can still function and I'm still going, I'm still moving.
Yes. Those
It,
systems. You
it
brought up the
feels,
S word. Yes.
oh, I love systems. And so anyone who's struggling in your habits, I say the first place to go to is reflection. Reflect on where you are, what's
Yep.
working, and
Yep.
what's not. Don't beat yourself up about what's not working.
Yep.
Don't worry about that.
Yep.
What is working? Double down on what's working. Oh, one of my coaches told me one time, they were like, you know, I think it's stupid for people to start working on their weaknesses. I said, what? This goes against every every self-help guru I've ever heard. Like none of this what you say makes sense. What do you mean don't work on my weaknesses?
Yep.
Say double down on your
I
strengths.
totally agree.
Double down on your strengths. The things
Mhm.
that light you up, the things you're good at, the
Yep.
things you
Your
naturally
story.
innately just lean into those, do those as much as possible.
Yep.
And it's so wild. I started doing that, and then people are like almost gravitating toward me in these strengths. And like as they gravitate toward me, they provide more money and finances. And I'm like, I'm not chasing them. I'm not chasing money. I'm not chasing finances. I'm like, I'm chasing purpose intentionally.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm showing up as what I am. So, what am I? I'm a writer, I'm a storyteller, I'm a speaker. That's what I am. So, if it's
Mhm.
not about storytelling, if it's not about writing, if it's not about speaking, then I ain't about it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
the crux and the base for all of those things is Jesus. So, I'm like, I spoke with a woman yesterday, a potential client, and she's like, "Oh, I want to write a book telling my story." And the story is about how this woman came into my family and tore us apart. And I was like, "Well, you will not be my client. Best of luck to you on your book." And she's like, "What do you mean? I have money." I'm like, "That's nice. I'm glad you have money. Congratulations. Good job." She's like, "I don't understand. Don't you help people write books?" I say, "I help people write books on purpose and for a purpose. And if that purpose ain't got nothing to do with Jesus, then this book ain't got nothing to do with me. And I don't want no parts of it." It's just
Because you know what you want as a, what do you call yourself, a coach, a guide? What do you call yourself nowadays?
I call myself Jori.
Ah, just like how you take your coffee in a mug. You smarty pants. I love it. I love that, Joy. I love that. Okay, yeah. I
I'm
love
a
it.
developmental writing coach.
Hey, developmental writer coach.
Writing coach, yeah.
Writing
So
coach.
folks who don't know what they want to write about, or they've written something and they're not sure if it's in a
Mm-hmm.
proper format, if it's not going to reach their target audience, if they're
Mm-hmm.
not sure that they can market it properly, if they're not sure if they could pitch it to a publishing company and actually receive like
Yeah.
good news or some sort of feedback or word at all. Because I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you, I've sent my I've sent books out to publishing companies, and you would swear like, I don't know, like they all my emails went to spam. You don't hear nothing back from these people. And I'm
Mm.
like, "Hey guys, at least say no. Just say no."
Say something.
Right? Anything. So people come to me when they get frustrated of they've been writing a book for 3 years, they can't finish it, or they have all these ideas brewing in their head. And
Mhm.
specifically women who are neurodivergent, right?
No.
ADHD,
Oh, okay, good.
OCD.
If you could explain that. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, but even bipolar depression, schizophrenia, like all that is form of neurodivergence, but people look at it differently, right?
Okay.
People aren't treating someone with autism the same way that they are with depression, but they're both neurological impairments. Like
Okay.
they both are stemming from the way that your brain is processing information, the neurons and pathways that you have. So I double down usually on habits and specifically like their mindset. So if you have the
Mhm.
proper mindset and you have the proper habits,
Yes.
your book, the rest of that is easy peasy, honestly. It really is.
Yeah.
But that's the part where most people fail. And it's not just women, it's men too. I have a couple male clients, but I primarily work with women who, struggle with neurodivergence. Because I don't know if you've ever met someone with ADHD, but they don't sit still too much too long to be writing nothing.
Mhm.
So giving them like small habits and hacks that they can use. And I'm not talking about like using ChatGPT to write your book for you. It's more in the lens. I've seen people that are like, "Oh, can I have?" I'm like, "You can. Your book gonna be hot trash garbage if you do, but go
Yeah,
for it.
this
If
won't be
that's what you want
yours.
to do."
Mhm.
But I teach them just small things that they can do to help them expedite it. But again, we're talking about habit building, and one of the things I'm like habit stacking. When do you have the most free time? Oh, well, I'm on my way to work. Okay, great. So how do you get to work? Well, I get to work on an LIRR. And how long does that take? Oh, maybe 40 minutes. All right, so you tell me you don't have no time to write a book, but you got 40 minutes on the way to the city and 40 minutes on the way back that you can write a book. So why you can't write a book? I'm like, you have over an hour a day. You have 5 hours a week of sitting, doing nothing. So why you can't write a book?
Yeah.
Oh, I never thought of that. I'm just like, this is simple. Like for me, I'm like, I'm gonna do a time audit. I'm gonna look at all the hours in my day. Now, what spaces can I put right? We're just habit stacking because guess what? You're gonna go to work.
Yep.
It's going to happen. So instead of
Mhm.
trying to figure out a new space, a new place in your schedule to do this habit, we just going right there. We already doing this right there. Right there. We're just gonna put a stack.
I like the baby voice.
You can put it right to the tip. Right to the tip. Right? Like low cognitive lift. We do not want to overwhelm people. Just
Yeah.
want to, how do we get this intended result with what we already got?
Yeah.
So in
Yeah.
this instance, I teach people how to do a lot with a little.
Yeah. Love
Because
it.
my clients usually finish their manuscript in 90 days. And people are like, 90 days? That's not possible. I'm like, come play with me. I will show you. I will show you.
Okay. I love it. And you go ahead and send me all your info because we'll tag it on the description of the video. And How can people connect with you? Because love your title and your role, right? It's very specific to book signing. I
Yeah,
see all your books there in the back.
it is. Yeah, and so I'm like, I'm not a hope or a wish type of person. Like, I'm a practical person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I want to practically show you, okay, if you're like, I can't write a whole book. Great. When I was in a season of helping like 7 other women write their book and building this business and working a full-time job, I was like, I don't want to not put out a book, because then that's gonna look a little weird. You're a developmental writing coach, but you ain't got no
Yep.
books out. That don't
And you
make no
have no
sense.
book.
Um,
Correct.
so I linked up with a publishing company because I was like, hey, I've written 8 books on my own independently. What does it look like to be published, like official published with a publishing company?
Yeah.
And so I reached out actually to a sister in the church in North Carolina, Elizabeth Lang Thompson. She actually just came to New York and did our women's weekend.
Okay.
And she writes for Tinsdale Publishing Company. She's been with a couple other different publishing companies, but she got publishing deals. And I'm like, hey, if you want something, find somebody who's doing it already and go holler at them.
Yes.
So I reached out. She was super sweet.
Networking.
Right. Super helpful. She's like,
Yep.
hey, did you try this? Did you try this? Did you try this? I did all the things she said to try. And now I have 2 best-selling books with an official publishing company. And
Yeah.
they set up my book tours. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, this
How
is
nice to show
but I'm
up.
like, I can still help people write
Mhm.
their book, and I can put out good content that gets bestseller. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said, like, if you figure out, okay, this is what I want, this is where I am, what small habits do I need to insert to get from point A to point B? And
Yep.
when I teach people, I teach them like, okay, where is Pain Island? Like, where is this place that you're like, frustration? And where's Pleasure Island? Where's this delicious, fun? We got Hawaiian skirts and hula, right? Like, where is that place? All right, now we're going to reverse engineer this joint. What is the first step that's going to get you closer to Pleasure Island? What is that?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And then we just keep taking steps. And then
Yep.
before you know it, you're like, oh my goodness, I have a book. How did this happen? This is amazing. Oh my gosh. And I'm like, it seems all of a sudden because the habits that you started building are now innately a part of you.
Mhm.
They aren't this other thing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I've had fun. And so I am actually doing a writing retreat, my first writing retreat. So
Ooh.
one day, yeah, it's a luxury writing retreat. I rented out a boutique hotel out in Bellport, Long Island, March 22nd, and I hired an executive chef. So we're talking about some lobster tails and some delicious foods going down. And it's just an
Nice.
opportunity for women to get away, to get in nature, to find community, and to write their book. And so I'm encouraged that God has opened this door, because it's been on my heart to do this for a while. When I talk to women, they're like, oh, I want to write a book. I'm not really sure how to do it. I don't really have the time. I'm like, listen, you probably need a different environment. For some people,
Mhm.
they legit need a different environment.
Yep.
And not
Mhm.
everybody has the time or like the energy to research, like, how do I rent a cabin upstate New York so I can go for a weekend and write my whole book? I wouldn't suggest writing your whole book in a weekend. That book would probably be hot trash garbage. I'm
You
just
said
saying,
March
like,
22nd. I got it correct, right? Right in the
yes,
script.
ma'am.
Okay. Very cool.
And
So
so the email is the information for that retreat. And anyone who comes through to your show, if they put the, because I do a pre-take, I want to know what kind of book you writing. Like, you ain't just gonna come, and because like I said, I am not for everybody.
yeah. That's how it is in the space. So
I'm
that's
not.
the link. I put it on the comments, so it's good to go on YouTube
Awesome sauce. So yeah,
and
so
Facebook.
that's the next thing that I'm doing. But at the end of every month, I have a writing workshop, and it's virtual, so you can be in any state, in any country. Honestly, I've had some people from London pull up. You can be in any state, any country. At the last Sunday of every month from 5:30 to 7, I have a writing workshop, a virtual writing workshop called Your Story Matters, and I show people why it's important for them to share their story and not keep it to themselves. Because, in all
Yeah.
honesty, I don't believe that God has given us any experiences for us.
Sure.
I truly, humbly, honestly believe that everything that God has allowed us to experience in this lifetime is for us to give away and to share with other people, which is why I'm super excited that you have this show, right? Because you are very good with sharing your experiences, with sharing your expertise, with sharing your knowledge,
Oh,
and
thank you.
helping others.
Appreciate that.
No, seriously, like you are very good at just showing up and being consistent with that and helping others expedite their journey. Um,
Thank
you
you.
know, you've done a lot of work in self development. You've done a lot of work in habits, and so I think like this conversation is a good
Absolutely.
space, right, to have as
Yes.
we wind down this first little quarter we got of
Yes.
2025. Like
Yeah. Q1 about to
yeah,
end.
I'm like,
We
this
could.
is the perfect time to look at
Yes.
your habits. Like, hey,
Uh,
I had these goals January 1. Where I'm at. And don't beat yourself up. Like, oh man, I
yeah.
wanted to exercise. I wanted to eat right. I wanted to spend more time with my kids. I wanted to spend more time with my spouse. I wanted to spend more time reading, like writing, whatever it is. Like, all right, look at where you
Yeah.
are. What's been working? What hasn't? Let's just little increase, little dial. Let's kick it up a little bit, not too much, just a little bit on what's working.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. And I love how you said the first step is self reflection. That's my jam. That's my
I know.
product. I created a journal that I apply in my life for 7 years, as you mentioned. I needed to test it out on myself. So, and I believe that the most sophisticated self improvement is self reflection because you could
Mm,
do. If you don't ask yourself, why am I doing it and for what? Like you said, what's my contribution to humanity, right? Like
yep.
why am I here specifically, uniquely? How was I created to do this? So love it. Love this conversation and love that you shared a story that happened to you almost 5 years ago. As we're stepping in to because for a while, I don't know if you knew, but like, the beginning of the year used to be in March. And that conversation never happens. And I've made a lot of hu- uh, very huge decisions in my life around this time. And when a pandemic came, I actually knew about the pandemic because I will follow a few preppers, and they were telling us since like January. And I just knew, it was like it's coming up, And so anyway, all everything's like in a big circle here as you're sharing your story. And I do believe that March is the new beginning. That's where we're marching
Hmm.
forward. And really, it could be in July. It really could be anytime, whenever we take that time to decide and to self-reflect. What am I doing here? Why do I want to do it? What's my contribution, right? And what are my strengths? So I'm with the author. I'll maybe send it to me later, the name of the book that made a huge impact on you. By, you said, Hyatt, what again?
Michael Hyatt.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I will do. And also, hold on, I just saw your thing. I'm gonna tag in your monthly jams workshops. Let's put it right here so you could continue the conversation with Jory if you enjoy this. And I just finished inviting a principal here in Orlando. I want to do more interviews. That's my starting of it, right? That this is my start of March of 2025. I want to keep it coming. Okay, hopefully I got the link. Okay, cool. Okay, and you just told me, let's put it all right now so I don't have to do the work later. Let's
That's why
do
I'm sharing it to you now. I say you running solo. Let's just put it all out there.
right. Yeah, Miss Charmaine's not here. Oh my gosh, I just tagged it on our private. Hilarious.
It's fine.
Okay. All right, guys, check out the book. I'm gonna check out the book as well. It is called Your Best Year Ever, and it could happen in a pandemic. It could happen during bad weather. It could happen in the hardest moments of our
Yep.
lives. Right? Diamonds are made by pressure, right? Are created by pressure,
That's right.
and those are the times like we wake up. So I hope that this was for me, Jory. Thank you for coming and
Oh, you're
sharing,
welcome.
starting with storytelling. jokes as well. And let's have you come back, please. And let me know what else how else I could share information about what you're doing. Well, let's put it out there on the lovely world of Facebook, social media. Are you in TikTok, by the way?
I have an account. I don't remember the password, to be honest with you.
Okay, we'll keep we'll keep Facebook and YouTube. How's that? How's
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn too. So LinkedIn and Facebook are
True.
probably the best places to come and link up with me. No pun intended.
Hey.
But I have my own YouTube channel where I release free content, including how to like upload your book after you finish your manuscript to Amazon, to Lulu. Some
Mhm.
people just want like personal copies of their book. They're like, I don't know about sharing it to too many people. You don't have to put it on Amazon. There are other ways for you to actually print your book and publish it and get the copy straight away without going through Amazon at all. So
Well, we're gonna talk because I'm trying to get my journal out of Amazon. So I'll definitely be giving you a ring
that is
with
the
that
new
information.
flex. Sell it on your own website. I sell all my books on my own website.
Yeah,
They are
yeah,
all on Amazon because that's where people are going to go to vet you. Like, is this a
sure.
real book? Are you a real? And I'm like, yes. If you go with me on my author page, you will see 10 books under my name. I'm not a
Yeah,
liar. But if you go to my
yeah.
website, then like you get a signed copy, right? Like it's a different vibe, right? Signed, personalized copies from my website. On Amazon, they will not be signed. They will not be personalized.
Love it, love it.
Yes, yes.
Hey, let's before we go, can we do a quick picture? Because I'm gonna put this on the thumbnail. Get us here. Okay, hold on. Let's get the big screen. Hold on.
I would not
I
take a
know, and
picture
I don't
like
have
that.
Mr. Mean
No.
that takes a picture. So hold on, bear with me.
Ew.
All right, ready? Wait, wait for it, and go. Yes, thank you, Miss Jory. Make sure you guys follow her up. All her info I'm gonna put in a description, and I have a walkout song for us. Not sure if you know who the. We were just talking about Rat. The name of the band is called the Fat Rat. Have you heard of them?
No.
Okay. Well, let's listen to it as you walk out. The song is called Fly Away. We want to continue connecting with Jory.
Come and fly
Here's
away
the tag.
with me. Come and fly
Let's
away
go, Jory.
with me.
Thank you,
Come and
everybody.
fly away with
We
me.
shall
Come
see
and
you.
fly away